Apparently he's on some kind of weird diet where only your stomach shrinks.
Hey, what's up, my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the Transformers Generations Combiner Wars Deluxe Class Brawl. So here we are, and there he is, and first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging. So right here you have Brawl. Yes, his name is Brawl, and the usual schematic-y stuff that is visible when the comic isn't there, combined to form Bruticus. And on the back of the box we have your obligatory product shot and a brief bio, if you want to read it, and more Bruticus, more parts of Bruticus, and that's basically it for the packaging. And of course you do get the comic book with a nice piece of artwork of Brawl looking all like you realize I'm gonna have to hurt you, right? I'm just saying. My crotch is glowing. My crotch is glowing. It's the crotch glow of confidence right there. You can see he's already hurt somebody here. There's some just limbs just laying there. He's already done some damage. And again, it's a very old issue of I think Robots in Disguise. I don't know exactly what issue. I don't care what issue it is. I know that I read this a long time ago. That's all I need to know, is that I read this a long time ago. But yeah. So there you have that. And you have an extended bio on the back if you care to read that. So you can read that on your own time. I'll just pan up slowly for you. So there you go. Read. Are you reading? Are you reading? Remember, it's brain food. Good brain food. Nourish the brain. Yeah. And that's it for that. So moving right along here, we have Brawl. The new mold of the Deluxes here. And I would like to say that they saved the best for last, but not really. Not really. But here's Brawl in his tank mode, and as you can see, he's brown now instead of the usual green color he's supposed to be. I mean, even on the wait, let me pick it up off the floor here. Come back, packaging. If you look at the box art here, you can see that he is actually that green color, and the toy is not that. It's brown. It's brown. So I don't know what made them change their mind, but they made him brown. Okay, I mean, that doesn't bother me, but it's just weird that they just kind of made this drastic color change. But anyway, we'll get in closer so you can see details. Lots of nice molded detail in this guy, though. See all the details right there up front. The turret is also nicely detailed. All the hatches and whatnot, very cool. You also get some silver paint apps here. You can see them a little better in robot mode. You do get Decepticon symbols on either side of the turret, which is very nice. The treads are nicely molded and painted, which is cool. Back here, you don't get a lot. It's a lot of hollow back here. One issue with mine is that this front section here on both sides don't tab in the way they should. Because you can kind of see right there's a little tab and a slot right there is supposed to go into, and it does not. It doesn't work, and I push as hard as I can, and it just kind of pushes itself back out. So that doesn't work too well. I mean, I'm sure it's just a case of if I just, shave that tab down, it'll work perfectly. But still something to note right out of the box. But I'm sure that's something that can be easily remedied. But there you have that. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But yeah, he does 4 little wheels down here, so you can roll pretty well. So that's nice. The turret does not rotate. The turret is fixed in place due to transformation. You can raise the barrel up. You can raise that up and down, though, which is nice. So that's something. But yeah, there it is. It's a little brown thing. It's got the Decepticon symbol right here up front. Little paint apps right up front. Right there. And yeah, he's a tank. He's a brawling tank right there. So for comparison, let's bring in his buddies here. We'll bring in Mr. Swindle. We'll bring in Mr. Blastoff. Blastoff? blast off. There's blast off, and here he is. Also with Vortex, because it's Alpha Bravo. So there you have that. The team thus far. Right there. So there you have that. There you have that, and there you have that. And here he is with the Warbitron version of Brawl. So you can see how he looks with his third-party incarnation. You can see obviously quite a bit smaller than the Warbitron version, but there you go. There you have that. And here he is with his G1 self, because it's precious. Murder tank pressure. There you go. So there you have that. Now he does include the hand-foot gun, and I believe this is another totally new hand-foot gun, which is nice. I could be wrong, but I looked at my other combiners and I didn't see any that looked like this, so I think we got two totally new hand-foot guns in this wave, which is cool, even though I'm not a big fan of the hand-foot guns, but hey, new hand-foot gun, new mold. I can work with it. So there you have that. There is storage for it. Of course, there's a port right up top, so you could, if you wanted to, just take it and just plug it right up there if you want to look, ridiculous. And it does. There are ports on either side as well. You can kind of plug it in there, but it kind of leaves them a little bit lopsided. So you can do that. But one way to store it, the way you're supposed to store it, which I think is actually pretty cool, is you can take this piece right here, flip it up, and there's a port right there, a post right there, and there's a port right there. And what you do is you take it and you plug it in and you make sure there's enough clearance under there for the thumb to go in. So you just slide the thumb under there and you plug this in right here like that, and then you could bring this down, and there you have your storage for the hand-foot gun. And I think that looks really cool. That works. That is quite clever. I dig that. I definitely do dig that. That's clever. So, kudos. Kudos for that hand-foot gun storage. So, there you have that. Pretty cool. I dig it. I dig it. So, there you have that. Let's flip that back down. So, let's just get right down to transformation, shall we? So, as usual, we'll go into leg mode, then arm mode, then robot mode. So, to get him into leg mode, very simply, just going to take the turret right here, just bring it up on a double hinge, bring it forward. There are two tabs right there that'll go into these two slots right there. Let's just take it, tab it in right there. You want to take this whole back assembly here, and you want to untab that, and take it and swing it around, and bring it up to the back, like that. Then you just take your hand-foot gun in foot mode, plug it in, flip up your combiner peg right there, and voila, there he is, as a leg. Yay, leg! And again, it's your usual ratchety goodness that we've come to know and love. You get some rotation and whatnot, so there you go. Yay, leg! So moving on to arm mode. Just unplug that for now. You want to take this bit here and just bring this back down and around. Plug that back where it was. And now you're going to take the legs, you're going to split them, and they're going to come out and down. And you'll see here there are these little grooves right here, so you want to make sure that this panel goes in between those grooves, like that. And that locks that into place. Do the same thing on the other side, just bring that out and down. Bring that back in, and then you can tab this back together. And then you want to take the treads here, and you want to bring them up. They're on a double hinge here, so you want to bring them up and then rotate it, and then you want to bring this back. And you see the little tab right here will go into the slot. It doesn't lock in, it's just basically a place for it to rest. It's not a solid connection, but it's a place for it to go. So, same thing here, just take that section, bring it out, rotate it, and then bring it back. I'll tab in right there and make sure this stays together. And again, this is what I was talking about here. This tab is supposed to go into this slot right there, and it just don't work. It just don't work. It just pushes itself back out. But like I said, that's probably easily remedied. I could just shave that down. And that should work fine. But there you have that. And then what do we do? Just bring the combiner peg down. And just rotate at the waist here. You do want to bring this this post up because it does get in the way there. So you need it for clearance. So bring in your hand-foot gun and flip out the fingers. Bring this down. Of course, it could be a left or a right arm, a left or right hand, depending on what you want to do. Plug it in, and there you have Brawl in arm mode. Yay! Arm mode. And you get your usual rotation, elbow joint. If you want the double jointed action, you have to kind of turn it around to get the knee joint there, but then you have all these gaps and it looks kind of ugly there, so yeah. Totally up to you. Wiggly, 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 waggly, waggly, flippity, flippity. Hey, there you go. Arm mode for Brawl. So you have that. So let's get right down to robot mode. Just remove that, put that off to the side. Rotate the waist so it's facing forward. Bring that down. Split the legs. Now this is a part of the transformation that doesn't really work, and this is definitely my biggest problem with this figure. So you want to take this whole crotch assembly here. It's on this double joint, so you want to take this and bring it around like this. Bring this whole chest section down right here. And you'll see there's a tab right here that goes into this slot right here. And that doesn't really lock in at all. That's more of a suggestion than an actual locking point. No matter how hard I push down, it doesn't really stay. And there's no place for this to actually lock in. There's just this little groove right here for this, but nothing actually locks. No matter how hard I push, like nothing actually locks. There's nothing here to tab anywhere. So this whole waist assembly is just kind of, no matter what you do, it just kind of flops around and just doesn't stay where it's supposed to, and that's a big bummer. But anyway, moving on to the arms. I'm going to raise things up a little bit here. You just want to bring the arms straight out like that, rotate them, bring the forearm down, and then just bring the bicep forward like that. Now you got an arm. Second verse, same as the first. Bring that down, rotate, bring that down, bring that forward. Take the turret on that double hinge, just take it, bring it along against his back, and those two tabs right there will go into the two slots right there. Lock that in place like that, and then you just flip up his head, and voila, there you have Brawl in his robot mode. He's weird. He's weird, and really the thing that throws me off the most about this figure is his waist, his midsection, or lack of midsection, pretty much, because he doesn't really have a stomach. It's just kind of like he has a lot of chest, then nothing, pretty much, and then pelvis, and it's just... This is just a really, really weird design that doesn't really work. I mean, when you're looking at it from the front, it's not that noticeable. You can't really tell, but once you start turning him a little bit and you just see he just has this big hollow stomach. It just really, really weird. Like I said, like none of this actually locks in place, so this just kind of wiggles around, and it's annoying. It's really, really annoying. So yeah, I just no, I don't care for that. I don't care for that one bit. I really, really don't. But anyway, articulation wise, his head can only rotate. It's just on a mushroom peg here, so you only get rotation. Actually, we're getting closer on the head sculpt first before we take a look at the articulation. It's actually a nice head sculpt. Nice red eyes. It's not really coming off good on camera, but the eyes are actually painted in a very nice bright red. It's just not coming off very well on camera, like the light's not hitting it well, but actually the eyes are quite nicely painted. But nice head sculpt. But like I said, yeah, like overall the design is just like, especially on the waist. Like the waist is the only thing that really bugs me about this guy, but you know, otherwise it's a pretty, you know, compact transformation. I mean, you know, he has a turret on his back, but then again, he's always had the turret on his back, so that's accurate. So, shouldn't be annoyed about a backpack when he's supposed to have a backpack. So, yeah, that. But again, articulation-wise, his head can only rotate. The arms can do a full 360. They can go in and out, and thankfully he can't hit himself in the head with his own shoulders, which is nice. You can use that double joint here, and you can have the shoulders sitting higher up if you want, have them sitting lower if you want. I always just kind of leave them right in the middle. And there you have that. The elbows are on a ball joint as well as this joint right here, which is more for transformation, but you could probably use it for something. There is a waist joint. The hips are on a ball joint, so you have full range of motion there. And of course, as I'm moving his legs around, all this is coming undone. Not that it was ever really done in the first place, but you got full range of movement here on the hips. You got a thigh swivel. 90 degrees of bend. You do get an ankle tilt, which is really nice, and due to the transformation joint, you have this double joint right here, so you can actually get him to move his feet up and move them down if you want, so that's nice. But yeah, man, this midsection just, But anyway, you can arm this guy up. You can just take the cannon here off of the turrets, and you can plug this into his forearm if you want. If you want that look going on, or you can just take it and put it in his hand and have him hold it as a handheld weapon. It's totally up to you. And of course, you can hold him, have him hold. You can hold him. Yes, you can hold him. You can hold him. I love you, Brawl. I love you. I want to hold you. I will hold you and pray that you will someday have a stomach. But you can plug this into his hand as a handheld weapon if you wish, but I never wish because I think it looks dumb. And yes, you can undersling it if you want because that does look a bit better, but I just don't really care for these things as weapons anyway. I think they're just dumb, but you have that. But the cool thing is you can still use this post right here, and you can take this and plug it onto his back like that. So you can actually store the hand-foot gun on him, which is nice, in a nice, you know, non-garish way where it's not just this thing just hanging off his shoulder or something. I like that. I appreciate that. And you can still leave the cannon here on the turret too and have everything on there. So I dig that. I definitely dig that. So there you have that. And of course, as I'm doing this again, his waist is just all kind of wibbly wobbling all over the place because it just doesn't lock in anywhere. There you go. Now for comparison, here he is with Warbitron's Brawl, which I always liked. I think that's a really good version of Brawl right there. Always liked this version of Brawl. I think they did a great job on that. So you have him with Warbitron's version of Brawl. Here he is with his buddies here, and then we got him with Swindle, who is bigger than Brawl. There you have him with Blastoff. Blastoff. And here we have him with Vortex, because it's, you know, it's Alpha Bravo. So there we have the team so far. And again, I still find it weird that Swindle is actually beefier than Brawl. That's not right. So, there you go. There we have the team thus far. They have that, they have that, and they have that. And, of course, here he is with G1 Brawl, cautious, precious. At least this one has a stomach because it's precious. There you go. So you have that. Sorry for the random cut there. There's just something that I wanted to throw in that I forgot to mention when I originally shot the review. As of this recording, I do not have Onslaught. I don't have him yet. I have not seen him out in the wild. I haven't pre-ordered on BBTS, and apparently they still have not gotten the Voyagers in stock, so as of this recording, there is no Onslaught, but when I do have him in hand, he will be reviewed, and we will slap these guys together and make us an Onslaught. And of course, if you're watching this in the future, then everything I said is completely irrelevant, but I figured I would mention it right now because it's relevant now to somebody, somewhere. Somewhere out there. And now we return you back to your regularly scheduled review. So, yeah. Brawl. He's weird. He's very, very well. Let me show off these, I didn't show off the little silver painted details there better. Yeah. He's got that going on. But yeah, Brawl, he's weird. He's a very, very weird figure. I don't know. I'm not crazy about it. It's just really the only thing that really throws me off about this figure is just this midsection. It just doesn't work. It's just it would have been better if there was at least somewhere for this to lock, in place, but it doesn't even lock in place anywhere, and it flops around and just. I don't know what they were trying to do with this design, but it is not successful at all, and it's just like he has no stomach. He just has no stomach. It's just this little, I mean, actresses in Hollywood have more of a stomach than this guy does. I mean, what? It's just, yeah. That's the only thing that really puts me off about this guy. I mean, the design overall is nice. It works. It's just that really just bugs the crap out of me. That just doesn't work at all, man. At all. So, yeah. And that's my professional opinion. So... If you would like a Brawl or any of the other Combiner Wars figures, you can always check out BigBadToyStore.com for availability. There will be a link in the description down below, so check that out. You can also check out my Combiner Wars playlist for any reviews you may have missed. Also linked in the description down below, so check that out as well. And I think that's it, so don't forget to check out EmGo's, check out Lori Plan, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below. And I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So, there is the Transformers Generations Combiner Wars Deluxe Class Brawl, and this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Be geek, be proud. Palm in your face. Brawl! Yes, sir. Hey, why the change of color? I like to play in the mud. Okay. Anyway, your fellow combaticons are on a mission to obtain a special burrito for me, and I need you on the defensive. Why's that? Simple. Once we have it, the Autobots might want to take it from us. But the Autobots don't like burritos. They will once they see this. And I need you to defend it. All right, sir. Good. Now go. Yes, sir. And get Shockwave to build you a stomach.